Welcome to NFL Nexus. Today, we are going deep inside the Chicago Bears war room. We're not just going to look at some potential draft picks. No. We are going to reverse engineer their entire philosophy for building a team. We're going to break down this really fascinating two-pronged playbook they have for building a potential dynasty, and it's this masterclass in balancing high-risk, high-reward moves. So if you're a fan of this kind of deep-dive football analysis and you really want to get the why behind the moves teams make, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and definitely drop a comment to let us know what you think of what the Bears are cooking up. All right, let's get right into it.
So this is it, right? This is the billion-dollar question every single general manager in the NFL loses sleep over. But for the Chicago Bears, they just drafted a guy they hope is a franchise-altering quarterback. The pressure is just absolutely immense. Think about it. The entire future, a whole new era for this historic team, it all hinges on getting this question right. And the answer, as it always does in this league, it's found during those 3 chaotic days of the NFL draft. But here's the thing, and this is so crucial. It's not just about picking the best player on the board when your time is up. It's about having a detailed, long-term strategy that's designed to build a team that can compete for a Super Bowl, not just for 1 year, but for the next decade.
Okay, so the mission for the Bears, on the surface, seems pretty simple. Surround your new quarterback with an army of weapons. He needs guys to throw to, he needs guys to protect him, he needs reliable players. But the how? That's where this gets really interesting. Because when you start digging in and you analyze their recent draft history, you look at their free agent moves and especially their pre-draft visits this year, a really clear pattern starts to emerge. It's like this two-pronged attack on team building. It's this delicate, calculated dance between hunting for athletic freaks, the unicorns, and mining for those diamonds in the rough. One side is all about explosive, raw potential. The other is all about proven, undeniable performance.
So let's break down that first part of their strategy. And trust me, this is the sexy part. This is what gets you the highlight reels, what gets fans absolutely buzzing on draft night. We're talking about the relentless hunt for pure, game-breaking athleticism. I don't just mean guys who are kind of fast for their size. Oh no. We are talking about that elite, top 1% kind of speed that makes defensive coordinators just stay up all night, the kind of speed that can turn a simple 5-yard slant route into a 70-yard touchdown in the blink of an eye. This is the hunt for the genetic lottery winner, the kind of player who has traits you just flat out cannot teach.
And that hunt for a true game breaker, it leads us right to a huge piece of evidence. A top 30 visit the Bears used on the Ole Miss wide receiver DeJon Stribling. Now, for those of you who might not know, let's really unpack what this means because it's a big deal. Every single NFL team is only allowed to bring 30, that's it, just 30 draft prospects to their own facility for these private, in-depth visits. This is an incredibly valuable and limited resource. We're talking about deep medical checks, intense whiteboard sessions with the coaching staff, one-on-one meetings with the general manager. You just don't waste one of these. So when a team uses a top 30 visit on a player, it is a massive signal. It's basically screaming to the rest of the league, hey, we are very, very serious about drafting this guy. The Bears have laid their cards right on the table here.
Now, let's just take a second and really look at these numbers because they are staggering. We can't just glance over them. We have to understand what they mean. At 6'2", 207 pounds, he already has the perfect size for a prototypical X-receiver in the NFL. That means he can go up and win those 50-50 jump balls against smaller defensive backs. He is a certified nightmare matchup in the red zone. That physical frame alone makes him a really intriguing prospect. But then you see the 40 time. 4.36. For a man that big, that is absolutely blazing. To put that into perspective for you, that's a faster time than Stephon Diggs, another receiver with a very similar physical build. It's this rare, intoxicating blend of size and elite top-end speed that makes GMs and scouts just fall in love. It's the exact kind of profile that can get a player drafted a full round or two higher than his college stats might suggest, all because it represents pure, untapped, explosive potential.
And look, the scouting report from a guy like Lance Zierlein over at NFL.com, it confirms exactly what these numbers are telling us. Let's really break down what this quote means in football terms. Long striding, vertical access wideout. Okay, so what that actually means on the field is that he doesn't just have that initial quickness, he has what coaches call build-up speed. He takes these huge, powerful strides that just eat up a cornerback's cushion in a heartbeat, and that lets him get right on top of the defense for those deep shots down the field. And then Zierlein adds legit speed after the catch. And this part is so key. It means he's not just some one-trick pony who can only run in a straight line. You can get him the ball on a short little crossing route, and he has the jets to split the safeties and turn it into a massive gain. This isn't just some guy who ran a fast time in shorts at the combine. This is real functional football speed that shows up all over his game tape.
So here's the catch.
This is the risk part of the risk-reward equation. Zierlein projects him as a WR4, and what that means is he's probably not going to be an immediate day one starter. The reason for that, which is in the full report, is that his route running, well, it needs some serious polishing. He's just not as crisp coming in and out of his breaks as some of the other top receivers in this draft class. But this is exactly where that athlete versus producer philosophy comes into play. The Bears would be drafting Stribling not for the player he is today, but for the player they believe he could become in 2 or 3 years. They are betting that their coaching staff can teach him how to run a better route tree because they know for an absolute fact that you cannot teach someone to be 6'2", and you certainly can't teach 4.36 speed. It's a classic high-risk, high-reward bet on pure athletic upside.
But hey, let's be real. Drafting a team full of workout warriors, that's not how you win a Super Bowl. That's only half the battle. A roster that's built only on these high-risk, high-upside lottery tickets is a fragile one. The other, and you could argue more important piece of the championship puzzle, is finding guys who are just flat-out good at football, regardless of what they ran on the 40-yard dash. And that brings us to the second pillar of the Bears draft strategy, unearthing those hidden gems, the players that other teams completely overlook.
This number right here, it says it all, 233. That's the overall pick number the Bears used to select Rutgers running back Kyle Monagai in last year's draft. Now, for anyone who's not a draft nut, let me put that into context for you. We are deep into the 7th and final round at this point. This is the territory where teams are basically just taking flyers on guys they hope can maybe, just maybe, make the practice squad or help out on the punt team. The expectations for a player taken at pick 233 are incredibly low. I mean, most of them don't even make the final 53-man roster. The Bears, though, they clearly saw something that every other team in the league just completely missed.
And you know, if you really want to know how the Bears themselves feel about this pick, you don't have to look any further than their own official Instagram account. They posted this just a few weeks before this year's 2026 draft. And the timing of this is everything. This is not some subtle little post. This is a message to the rest of the NFL that their scouting department is elite. It's a flex, plain and simple, but it's also a powerful message to their own fans. It's the front office basically saying, hey, trust us. We know what we're doing. Even when we make a pick late in the draft of a guy you've never heard of, there's a real reason for it. It builds that critical confidence in their entire process.
So what exactly did the Bears get for that 7th-round pick? Let's talk about the return on that tiny investment. I mean, he delivered so much more than they could have ever dreamed of. Monagai didn't just make the team. He became a key contributor to their offense from day one. As you can see, he played in every single game, he handled a pretty big workload with 169 carries, and he put up almost 800 yards and 5 touchdowns. To put that in perspective, the last 7th-round running back to have a rookie season that productive was a guy named Isaiah Pacheco, from the Kansas City Chiefs, who is now a 2-time Super Bowl champion. This isn't just a good pick. This is the absolute definition of a grand slam. It's a home run that completely changes the makeup of your running back room for years to come.
So you see what we have here, right? We have 2 totally different players. Dejon Stribling, the athletic freak with just immense raw potential. And then you have Kyle Monagai, the overlooked workhorse who was productive from the second he stepped onto an NFL field. They were found in 2 very different ways, and they came with 2 totally different sets of expectations. And right here, this is where you can see the brilliance of the Bears' bigger strategy. It's not about choosing one path over the other. It's not analytics versus old-school scouting. It's about a single, unified philosophy that embraces them both.
And there it is, the whole Bears draft philosophy laid out right there in a nutshell. On one side, you've got the athlete, the Dejon Striblings of the world. As you can see, these are the guys you draft in the earlier rounds. You're betting on their elite, unteachable physical gifts to develop into superstars. It's a swing for the fences, a home run bet. But on the other side, you have the producer, the Kyle Monagales. These are the guys you find in the later rounds, the players who maybe didn't test off the charts at the combine, but who are just incredibly productive in college and just know how to play the game of football. It's a high-floor, low-risk investment. And the real key to building a sustainable, championship-level roster is having a healthy mix of both. You need the stars, and you need the reliable role players to win.
And all of this, it leads us right here, to the 2026 NFL Draft. The Bears have their philosophy locked in place, they have a proven track record of hitting on both types of players, so now it's just time to put that plan into action all over again. And they are heading into this thing with an absolute treasure trove of picks, which gives them more than enough ammunition to attack this draft from every single angle and execute their dual strategy to perfection.
I mean, just look at this war chest of draft capital they've got. 7 total picks, with a heavy concentration right where you want it, in the early rounds and at the very end. That 25th pick in the first round, That's a prime spot to get a blue-chip day one starter. But the real intrigue, the real power they have, lies in those 2 second-rounders and those 2 seventh-rounders. With picks 57 and 60, they're practically back-to-back. That gives them incredible flexibility. They could easily take a high-upside athlete with one and then a high-floor producer with the other. And then with 2 picks at the very end of the draft, 239 and 241, they have 2 more lottery tickets to go find the next Kyle Mongai. This haul of picks is just perfectly built for them to execute their athlete versus producer strategy.
So the big question on draft night is going to be this. Which way do the Bears lean with their best picks? Do they swing for the fences with those picks at 25, 57, and 60 and try to find that next athletic superstar, the next Stribling? Or do they double down on their scouting, trust their board, and look for another diamond in the rough, another Monange who has somehow slipped through the cracks? Well, the most likely answer is they're going to do a little bit of both. And that's really what you should take away from this. The Bears have a clear, they have a balanced, and they have a proven strategy for building a winner. Now, all we have to do is sit back and watch them execute it. So what do you think they should do? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, please make sure to subscribe to the NFL Nexus channel and smash that like button. Thanks for watching The Explainer. Oh, and hey, one more thing. If you're looking for a fun gift for any football fan in your life, we'd love for you to help support the channel by checking out our brand new coloring books. They are perfect for kids, grandkids, and hey, even for adults. You can find the link right in the description or just scan the QR code on your screen right now. We'll see you next time.